The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Hello and welcome to the Icons of Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Timothy Kaitana, and today I'm joined by a woman that has been, I would say, in my words, killing it in the real estate industry. She is a mom of three and a grandmother.
And a grandma.
Yeah, and a grandma. And she is giving a lot of men and younger people a run for their money. And she is here today to share her secrets on how she became successful in real estate and what her support structure looks like. Well, if you don't know her, then I don't know if you've been living under a rock, because she is a trailblazer in the industry. Who am I talking about? I am talking about Lisa Pflugh, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's an honor. It truly is an honor. I love having women that are doing great things in the industry on the show. It's good to have the men, don't get me wrong, but I feel like at certain times we have to shine the spotlight on women, and not just women, moms and even grandmoms. They're are doing wonders, because I know it takes a lot more work when you have so much that you have to take care of on a daily basis. So I think we should always take time to celebrate and get to hear your amazing real estate story. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. With that being said, Lisa, I would love for you to tell our audience your amazing real estate story, how you got into real estate and why.
Sure. So as you mentioned, I am mom of three kids. They're all adults now. A couple of them are married off, and I've got one grandson. But the first 20 years of my marriage, I was a stay-at-home mom. I think that's the most important job out there, and I don't regret a minute of it. And in that time period, my family and I moved 18 times. My husband was in IT, and that's what you did in the 90s. You know, you would move when you could get a better job. Yeah. And so during that time, we bought and sold several homes. And every time I had realtors that we were working with say, "Oh, you got to get into real estate." And I was like, "Oh my God, no, I would never do that." Yeah. And I just never saw myself. I saw myself as a stay-at-home mom, and I'd work part-time jobs around my husband's schedule, but I was mom. And then in 2015, we moved to Colorado, and we came here from Pennsylvania for the sunshine in the mountains, like a lot of people do. Yeah. And in 2016, my son was going to he was a senior. He was going to be graduating. And my husband was going to college. I need you to get something full time. We're going to need to buckle down. And I had a friend who was an insurance agent, and I decided to get licensed in insurance. And I worked that job for about 6 months, and it about killed me. I was sitting behind a desk for 40 hours. I was doing stuff I was not good at, and I was not enjoying it. And so I had another friend who was a broker. He owned his own firm. It was just him, real small. Yeah. And he said, "Hey, why don't you come be my assistant? I know you're miserable doing what you're doing." He's like, "I'll pay you what you're making there. Just come over and be my assistant." And I said, "Okay, I will." And I was with him for about a month, and I was like, I think I could do what he's doing. And so I decided to get licensed. Yeah. I mean, I stayed with him. It took me about 4 months to study because I was doing it part-time.
Okay.
And so I was his assistant for about 4 or 5 months and got licensed. Oh. And so in March of 2017, I got my license, and I worked with him. Thought that was, it's a brand new agent. I didn't know what to do. Like, you take your tests and you think you're going to know what to do, and you don't. It doesn't tell you how to be a realtor. It tells you what the law is. Yeah. And, this is important, I think, for new agents. I remember one time he was a skier. And when you are in Colorado and you go to the mountains, you don't have cell signal often. So I asked him, I said, "Wait, what happens when you're in the mountains and I have a question?" And he said, "Oh, you worry too much." And I was like, that is not the right answer. So if for any new agents out there, if you get dismissed like that, that's not an appropriate answer. And that's an indicator that you're in the wrong place. And so find another brokerage sooner rather than later. Don't wait. It took me 4 months because I'm a very loyal person. I was like, oh no, I'll make it work. It'll be fine. And it wasn't. So I had met another agent in another brokerage. She was at Remax Properties, and she became that person that I'd be like, that's what he's saying. Is that right? And she'd say, no, when are you coming to Properties? Yeah. And there was, I don't leave lightly. I had to have a push. And so I had a situation where I was like, this is not the right place for me. I've got to go. And I called her and I said, I'll be there on Monday. And I went and switched brokerages. And that was pivotal for me. You know, I went through their new agent program in 2018. That year, I closed 7.3 million in sales. I did 18 deals. Wow. I was their new agent of the year. And
wow,
it brought this. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. That's amazing.
And it brought this passion that I had that I didn't know I had. I love helping people and I love connecting with people. And I also love teaching and mentoring. And so I became a mentor to new agents. And 2019, I closed just around the same 7.2 million. 20 was, a crazy year. That was the year that I hired an assistant. I closed 14.7 million. And after that, I decided to start my team. Real estate gave me the opportunity to help people in this tangible way and build relationships. And that's what I love to do. So 21 started my team, and we're still growing our team. I've got 2 agents and 2 staff right now, and I'm looking to add on more. Our team is just different, I think, than a lot of teams out there. One of the reasons a lot of team leaders, they start a team to make money, and I didn't need the money. I like the camaraderie. I love doing things with people. And that's a big driver for me. So that's my story.
That's an amazing story. And I think one thing that stands out to me is that the experience that you had when you first got into real estate, having a person not be there when you're just trying to get on your feet and understand the industry, I think it led you to a point where you've become the opposite of that to your team.
Yeah.
You become the opposite of that. And I think they're in a very good position, because I don't think a lot of people understand that part of the reason why a lot of agents leave within the first year, I mean, I think the stat said it was like 80%, is because of that. People are thrown into deep waters and they're expected to swim. And meanwhile, they don't even know what's going on. Like you said, you're not taught everything when you're taking these classes. You're not taught everything. And that's why you need a mentor, a coach that's really going to be there when you need them. You don't need a person that's going to tell you, hey, you worry a lot. No, it's okay to worry, because you dealing with clients, people that are saving their hard-earned money, and they're trusting you with that responsibility. So you want to make sure you are as prepared as can be. And I love that you have become that person for your team. Now, while we're on that topic, I just want to know, like, with you having a team that you're so close to, can you kindly share, at least with the audience, the importance of having to build a relationship with your agents, having to build a strong relationship with the team? What's the importance of that, and how does it help shape up their real estate career?
It's really important. The relationship is not just with the team members. I build my relationships with my clients, and I do the same with my team members. I think it's important. There's a very delicate balance. I would do anything for my team and they would do the same for me, but we're not best friends. We work together and we support each other professionally. And I think that's important. I'm not there to rescue them. I'm there to help guide them, and they're there to help guide me. Like I always say, when I was a solo agent, when I first got started, I knew it's so important to have somebody to chase and have somebody that you're teaching. You have to have somebody to chase you to keep you motivated, and somebody that you're teaching, because that makes you know it. And so I'm really blessed because my team, we all, like, I'll even do contract. I'm writing a contract and I'll call up and I'll say, hey, just put some eyes on that contract. I want to talk about this situation with you and see if that's the best way that we could write that. And I love it. We're all viewed as equals. Yeah, I'm good at what I do, and I've done a lot more volume than them, but they still have valid points that I might not even have thought of. And I think that's really important, to be able to have that give and take. because it makes all of us better.
Well, that is true. I love that you guys have that kind of support. And speaking of support, when we spoke over the phone, you mentioned something that reminded me of an agent that we had on the podcast. And he spoke about something that a lot of agents don't speak about. And I felt like that's what you also told me. He said his support comes from his partner, his wife, you know, because if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't have been as successful as he is today. And I was like, wait, she helped you sell houses? You're like, no, just being there to support me, just being my peace and being there to give me all the support that I need, I guess. And I remember you mentioned that you were like, your husband was that person for you when you first got into real estate. And even till this day, he's still that person really standing by your side. Can you just tell us more about that?
Yeah. My husband and I have always been on this journey of self-improvement and learning about each other, learning about ourselves. And I think that's a piece that a lot of people miss. If you don't know who you are, how you communicate, how you receive things, you really miss out and you miss a lot. When I got ready to start this real estate journey, I had a kid going to college and I felt like I could do it. And my husband just said, my pay covers our expenses. I'm going to let you run. You run. He's like, you got to miss dinner. It's fine. You got to be out all weekend on doing 3 open houses. Just do it. And he said, just go. And that freedom to run was huge. And in fact, I just interviewed an agent who's going to be joining our team, and he brought his wife with him. And we asked her, how are you feeling about this? You know, what is your thoughts on him maybe being away? And she said the same thing. Just go, just do it. I know you can do it. Just go. And so I know he's going to be successful. It's because I've had agents where the husband is, or the wife, everybody in real estate is going to have days when they got to come home and vent. And how your partner responds to the venting determines whether you'll stay or go. And that may be something to tell agents that are new, is when you're talking to your partner about doing this, teach them how you need to have them respond to your venting. Ask, is this something you just need to get out, or do you need me to provide a solution to this? Or do you need me to say, you're in a really bad place? Because if they are just complaining and talking negatively into you, you're done. It's not going to work.
Yeah. And that is true, because you can be fed, I think, if anyone else is giving you feedback, I think the one person's feedback that really impacts your whole mindset on how you approach your career is your partner. If they're like, you're wasting your time, you know?
Right. Yeah. If you vent and they say, why don't you just leave? Why are you even doing this?
Why are you still doing it?
I mean, you're going to go, why am I doing that? And then go get a job somewhere else.
It's
and you're going to miss an opportunity to build a business that could last a lifetime and more.
Like, you left a 9 to 5 for this?
Right.
And I love that. And you mentioned that he is a huge part of your team and providing support and coaching for your team. And what is that like, having your husband by your side and helping you train and coach your team, and also being there to support you in this real estate journey?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's fun and it's frustrating at times. It's funny because, we live in Colorado, and a lot of people in Colorado have hot tubs. And when we first got the hot tub, we were like, no business talk in the hot tub, not allowed, not happening. But you find yourself in the hot tub, you're relaxed, your brain starts to work, and then you start to think, hey, what? And then we found ourselves talking about business in the hot tub. And so now it's a joke, but the hot tub is our business bubble. And that's where we have our business meetings. If I'm struggling with whatever, we're talking about it in the hot tub. And we try to set those boundaries, and then we realize that's not working for us. Let's just make this our talk. And then we would get through talking it, and then we'd be able to enjoy the rest of the time in the hot tub. But, he really brings balance to me. Together, I say we make the perfect CEO. He's the strategist, he's the forest and the trees, and I am the executor. One time it's funny, we were explaining that to someone one time, and instead of executor, I said executioner. I said, actually, that's accurate also. I kill things. I knock it out. But he really balances me in that way. And for our team, he provides that impartial coaching. So we are coached by a national coaching company as well that teaches relationship building. And I really appreciate that. That's really beneficial to us. But what he also offers is that, he hears me talking, and then he can be the impartial person that allows the agent to kind of navigate through what I've said or something like that. And then he just does like a 15-minute check-in with him once a month. And it doesn't have to be about real estate, just a check-in. How you doing? Because, we are more than just a job. We do have lives outside of that, of our work lives. And he's there to keep a pulse and help our team keep healthy, because sometimes when you're stressed and you're in it and you can't get out of it, you don't know it. And he gives that avenue for the agent to realize that, oh yeah, maybe I need to take a day off.
Yeah.
And that's what we do that's how we measure our success on our team is, are you making the income that you desire to make? And are you taking time off? And he helps enforce that with our agents and our staff.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that's a pro tip right there. Get a jacuzzi and you find yourself making good business moves. So business ideas are just going to pop off while you're relaxing. One thing that I love about you is that you're very confident women. And I think your early success in real estate was a testament to that, because I don't think a lot of agents can say that they did 18 transactions within the first year. I don't think a lot of them can say they even did 10. To all the agents that are listening right now, or someone that wants to become a real estate agency, what is the importance of self-confidence?
I mean, it's everything. And what I think the first step is knowing yourself and finding the tools to learn about yourself if you don't know that already. There's tons, from disc tests to realstrengths.com. I mean, there's tons of them out there. And they all tell you they give you a little different picture of who you are. And that's the first thing for self-confidence. I remember when I was brand new and I didn't know anything, and I was afraid of the question that someone would say, well, how long have you been in real estate? What do you do with that question? And I remember I said, oh, I am relatively new in the company, but I joined a company that has over 100 years of experience with agents that I can ask any question. So if I don't know the answer, I know how to get it. Yeah. And that is, you have to borrow confidence and borrow experience when you're brand new. And that's what I did until I could figure out the answers to myself. And even now, every day is different in real estate. You don't know there's things you don't know, but do you have the confidence that you can find the answers if you need? That alone gives you confidence.
But that's actually a good response, because some agents will be like, well, this is my first week. And I guess the client feeds off your energy. And if you don't even seem like you confident enough to do this, even though it's just been a week for you, or it's just been a month, they'll be like, okay, I don't think this is the guy that's gonna get us the house that we're looking for, or sell our house. So it is really nice that you mentioned that. And I would say I have the $1 million question. I've been asking this to most of the guests that we have, because a lot of people are asking this question. And the $1 million question, is this the right time to buy a house?
It really depends on if you need to buy a house. I mean, I'm not going to tell somebody that they need to go buy a house just because it's the right time. But I will tell you, people are still moving. They're still buying and selling houses. Number one reason is people are moving to be closer to family, whether they're having kids and need to be close to grandparents, or whether they're grandparents and they want to move to be closer to their kids. People are moving, and it never stops. People bought homes and sold homes when the interest rate was 18%. And now they're buying homes and they're selling homes when interest rates are almost 7%, around high 6s.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If you need to buy a house, you need to buy a house. I live in a military town. We've got 5 military bases. We always have people moving. And if it's the right time for you to move, then it's the right time for you to move. And we're going to make sure you get the highest and best for your sale.
Wow. Well, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. If you need to buy a house, what are you waiting for? Go get you a house. Lisa, I think it's been amazing having you here. I really enjoyed having you here. But, I wish we had more time, because I know there's a lot that we haven't really covered yet. But there is one thing that I would like our audience to hear and to know, and maybe some of your clients that are listening to this. I heard little birdie told me that you guys have an annual movie event in May.
We do. Yeah. May 22nd, we're doing our movie event. We rent out the theater, invite our clients, have a
Ooh,
ball. We're doing the movie that John Krasinski wrote, Imaginary Friends.
all
And so
right.
we are planning and gearing up to have a great evening. So yeah, we're real excited about that.
Wow. I love that. I love that. I love it when you get to connect with your clients, when you get to build that solid relationship. I think there's no better way to build a relationship than a movie and having a chat after the movie. And you guys have been doing this every year.
Yeah, this is my 5th year doing this event.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard that. What's the date again? It's in May 22nd. And if people want to reach you, how can they find you, Lisa?
So the best way, we're on Facebook and Instagram at Tava Homes Group. Google.
Homeschool.
Also, you can find us on tavahomesgroup.com. And yeah, just give us a call. Let us know. We're here to help anyone, agent or clients in Colorado Springs and surrounding area.
All right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I told you this episode was going to be an amazing one, and I believe that it has added so much value to you. And if you feel like it has, feel free to share it with a friend. Share it with a friend that's trying to get into real estate. Share it with the mom that feels that it's too late to get into real estate, and perhaps they might just change their mind. And just before we go, Lisa, what do you have to say to the real estate moms or grandmoms that feel like it's too late to get into real estate?
46 when I got licensed.
Wow.
And I never had thought that I would have a career later in life. I'm so excited. I don't think I'll ever retire. I am having fun and doing what I love and love helping people buy and sell and love teaching agents to do the same.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are definitely a role model. You're a role model to both young and elder women out there because I think what you've done has been amazing and you definitely deserve to be celebrated. Thank you so much for coming through and I hope that we get a chat next time. Maybe I might just rock up to this movie event because
Yeah,
I'm a
give me a
huge
call. We'll save you a seat.
All right, thank you so much. So if you got this far, thank you so much for tuning in. And till next time, me and Lisa will see you guys. Bye.